Nicole, did you download Threads last night?
I am a bad influencer. I did not.
Yeah.
I'm naughty. I did hear about it though, and I've read some other people's messages about it and watched videos and people talking about it. Yeah.
So are you curious about what Threads is?
I am. I'm curious. I watched Pearl Mania's video on it on TikTok. I saw that V Under the Desk News is on it now, and they're going to be using it for quote unquote unhinged posts for the next 24 hours.
I'm really curious to see if it's gonna stick to strictly text, or if people are gonna use it the way they probably shouldn't be using it, like the way they use all other social media platforms.
Oh my goodness. How they shouldn't be using it? You need to go into a little bit more detail about that. What do you mean?
Well, the availability. So Threads is essentially it's a Twitter competitor. You can have up to 500 characters for text. But they've expanded some other things that they've done that they do and other social networks do. So you can post up to 5-minute long videos on there. I don't know yet, though, if they're horizontal or vertical.
That seems confusing to me. Like be one thing or the other. So it's just like a hybrid? Is it like an Instagram,
Kinda.
Facebook, Twitter hybrid?
Yeah, kind of. So up to 500 characters for text, up to 5-minute long videos, and you can do photos that are more portrait. So you have a larger canvas than you do on Instagram.
Okay. Do we like this? Do we like this hybrid situation? Is it?
I don't know. It's got a lot of attention. The thing that I like about it is it has a ton of attention. Like, what was that social network a few months ago you were trying to get me to create an account for?
Lemon 8, which I was very excited about.
Lemon 8?
Lemon 8, the number 8.
Okay.
It was like a Pinterest.
You're still on it?
I am, but I'm doing nothing with it.
Did you ever post anything on it?
I did. Yeah, it was cool. I was using it for like Disney posts about like top 10 spots at Magic Kingdom we like to eat at. They're like little mini blog posts with a visual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. So it's a lot of written words.
It can be. So I think what people were using Lemon 8 for was in the caption area, like making it like a little mini blog. It was pretty wordy. But you
Gotcha.
had your visual. So you had your photo that was like your pin that would attract people in. They'd click on it and see your caption. It was like a Pinterest, Instagram. It is. I keep saying was like it's gone.
Yeah, like it's already dead.
It's already gone. It's out of people's minds. That's not a good sign. The fact that I'm using the past tense, not a good sign. Yeah, so it is like an Instagram Pinterest hybrid.
So this is like the biggest thing with, like, I probably, if I had to guess, I would say they don't have 5 million users. And
No.
Threads, I think, has more than that now. But last night, around the time I went to bed, I think like 10 o'clock is when I turned my phone off. And Zuckerberg was on there saying that they have over 5 million users already.
Jeez.
So Threads is owned by Meta. For those of you who are listening, have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Threads is a new social platform that came out. It's owned by Meta. It's directly connected to Instagram. So you can create a Threads account through your Instagram app, essentially, through your Instagram platform on your phone, and immediately import your name and all of your profile information and everything directly over to your Thread. So then with like 3 clicks of a button,
Easy.
you have a Threads account started. And I think this is true, because it's sort of what's been happening. As your followers from Instagram create a Threads account, they're automatically following you on Threads.
We should test that. I have not made one for Coast to Coast Eats
Yeah,
yet,
so we should try
we
that.
could test that. But that is enticing, interesting, makes it very easy, it seems. People would like, why wouldn't I do this?
Right.
Seamless switch.
Like Lemon 8 probably doesn't have Mr. Beast and Barstool and
No,
all
I
these
don't
other
think
companies
so.
on it. But Threads last night from the get-go, I was on there. Once I got the notice that it was available, I immediately downloaded and jumped into it because I was curious. And as soon as I got in there, I was seeing posts from Gary Vee, from Barstool, from Mr. Beast. Like there were, a bunch of professional athletes.
Oh, okay.
John Jones, UFC fighter, was in there immediately, and like Zuckerberg was in there commenting to him and stuff. So there's a lot of high-profile celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs that were
Already
in there.
on, yeah.
And so they've got so many use. So anyways, so that jumped in right away. I think that's why this is going to be a thing that's going to stick around, because you have so many of those people that are already on this.
And all of those people joined because of who created it, I'm assuming, right? Like the name Meta is like, it's got some, what would you call it?
Pull, like weight.
Yeah, it's got some
Yeah.
weight in the world of social media for sure.
I'm sure that Meta went around to like all their big entrepreneurs and creators and ahead of time. It was like, hey, this is going to come out. I only heard about it yesterday from a 1:37 p.m. post, which is one of the VaynerMedia things, and they posted about it, and I just happened to see it on Instagram, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
so I pre-downloaded it, and then it popped up last night. So
Wow. You could pre-download it.
yeah, you could pre-download it, and then once it was like available, you got a notice from Apple. It was like, hey, your download is now ready to be,
Do you think that was to hype it up and get people excited?
for sure.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work.
Huh.
The biggest challenge and the thing that makes the thing that businesses have ruined about social media is immediately I'm going to, okay, how do we monetize this? Like, what do I need to do to get followers, to get attention, to get people liking my stuff? And that's not what social networks are meant for.
Right. Yes. I remember we were talking about that, was it a couple days ago, that social media was created to be social, right?
Right.
And now the applications are favoring and pushing the content that adheres to that kind
Yeah.
of mission statement of like engage with each other,
Yeah.
talk to each other, be social, show each other things. So it's interesting
Yeah.
to compare them. But
I
what
mean-
were we talking about earlier? We were talking about how Twitter was used primarily like by comedians and journalists
Yeah.
and news people whose primary like weapon of choice were words.
Yeah.
And that's a bad way to frame it. Weapons of, you know what I mean, though. Like,
Well, I mean, that was what they were using to get attention, and it still is a text-heavy platform. However, like even Twitter has zero regulation. Well, it has some regulation, I believe, for video, but there's a whole world of pornography that exists on Twitter. I don't know if you ever knew that.
so I knew it. I know now because in the stuff I was watching yesterday, the videos and stuff, and I go to the comment section because I'm really bad about that. I'm addicted to comment sections. Somebody was like, they lost me when they said no nudity. They were like, they lost me when they said no nudity.
Threads?
Yeah, because they said something like Twitter. That's like all I use Twitter for.
That's pretty funny.
I was like, wow, dude, you just had no problem telling the whole internet that, huh? Like,
Porn is accepted nowadays, I think is what we've learned. I mean, look at all the places that have copied the Pornhub logo.
but we have to call it corn, I think. That's
Maybe.
so your videos don't get taken down.
Yeah.
People will say corn.
Okay.
Like they're a corn star and
funny.
yeah.
Well, anyway, so yeah, Twitter is like text heavy, and definitely I think it's more used for comedians. It's more used for news and media and information like that. You can still post videos and photos on Twitter, but it's definitely more meant for text. And Threads seems like it's going to be a hodgepodge of everything, but I
Yeah.
wonder what they're going to give attention to. Like, is Threads going to give more attention to the text and less to the videos and the photos? If a restaurant jumps on there and just immediately starts sharing their reels that they just put on TikTok and Instagram over to Threads, is anybody going to care? Are they going to get attention?
Like regurgitating it.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I mean, of the celebrity influencers that I saw on there last night, like the ones that I was really focusing on were Mark Zuckerberg, Gary Vaynerchuk, Mr. Beast, and then Barstool Sports. And the only one that I felt like did a terrible job of using the platform for what it meant for was Barstool Sports. Like immediately I saw Gary Vaynerchuk talking about things that were happening in real time on Threads. I saw Mr. Beast making funny, posts. I saw Zuckerberg making text-heavy posts, and then like he was commenting on every celebrity that popped up that was like, "Hey, I'm here." Danos was on there immediately, but Danos, for some reason, their first thread that they posted just said seasoning. That was
Cool.
it. And I
We're talking about it.
right, but I replied and said, "Did you mean cheesening?"
Ooh, cheesening.
So obviously they're not going to use the Danos. Probably isn't going to use it the right way.
I feel like a lot of places have jumped on it immediately because it's fun, it's buzzing, and then I wonder how many will just stop using it over the next couple of months. I'll be like, all right, this is not helping us. It's pointless. We jumped on it because it was popular, and now, like, what are we doing?
Maybe I need to go through and see if Zuckerberg or anybody from Threads has posted a video saying, "Hey, this is what we intend. This is what we want you to use it for." Because that'll give us an idea of if they say, "Hey, we want this to be text, but you can do this stuff," then you should just be doing text stuff.
And what if they either A, don't say anything like that, or they're like, everything? That to me is so muddy and gray and
It is.
Boring.
If they don't say anything, then you just kind of, for a local business, let's say, like, let's say Nick from Toss and Fire is listening to this, and he's like, all right, do I start a Threads? What do I do? If there's no video out there, which we'll go back through and look, and maybe we'll post a screenshot that says, like, hey, this is what it's intended for, then you kind of just post anything and see what happens, and see, like, what traction you get most
Yeah.
with. I did watch a YouTube video this morning, and I feel like this is a detriment to it. There's a photographer, YouTuber that made a video talking about Threads today, and he was saying about how much he loves Threads because finally there's a social media platform that is going to give us the attention that photos deserves
Ugh.
because you can post larger photos, and B, a social network that's meant for what social network should be meant for, and that is creating community. And I thought to myself, that's what all social
Right.
networks are meant for. It's just businesses and
Yes.
influencers got in
Yes.
here and said, how can we make money?
And that's why you heard me go, ugh, because I immediately thought to myself, that's what Instagram was in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When it was great in like 2009, 2010, 2011, it was photos.
Yeah.
Had you ever had one of your photos, were you on it back then,
Yeah.
reach the,
Yeah.
not the Explore page, but
Yes.
what was it back then?
It was basically, it was that. Yeah. I
Like-
forget what it was called, but yes.
Yeah, I had so many photos reach that page, which was an achievement for me.
Yeah.
And because they were beautiful photos, I was living in California at the time. So I had access to like the most gorgeous landscapes.
Yeah.
Right, like palm trees and sunsets.
Yeah.
And I loved that. The favorite, was it the favorite page or something like that?
Yeah.
But anyways, that's why I went, ugh, because like it was, and then it got ruined.
Right.
They were giving attention to beautiful photos.
It got ruined, but you and I now make a living by ruining it.
It got ruined if what you were looking for was beautiful
For sure.
photos.
I don't know if you have this. I have two I mean, obviously I have the business account, but then I have my personal Instagram account that's private, and I get DMs or I get like friend requests or follow requests. I do not accept them.
No,
in
I
there.
got rid of my personal socials.
Really?
Yep, I had one, and I just didn't see a point
Yeah.
anymore. Everybody that I talked to, I have my personal Facebook page that I barely use,
Okay.
but I use that because you have to have that to start a business page.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So really, the question is, what's a local business going to do with Threads?
What did Mr. Beast do? Can we pull up what Mr. Beast
Yeah,
has already
so-
posted?
Mr. Beast has 3 posted out there. I wonder if it's going to pull up his. He only has a couple replies, which is pretty interesting. 10 million signups in 7 hours on Threads because I just saw
That's
that.
wild.
Uh,
I think humor. I think use words as a way to make people chuckle and like leave them with a good feeling about your brand or your business, and use it to funnel them into the platform that you want them to be on.
yeah, maybe. I mean, so like
One-liners.
Yeah, Mr. Beast just commented like funny stuff. So how long until we're also addicted to this app? Well, which is funny. That was his
Immediately.
first one. And then he posted like this: if at Zuckerberg should make me CEO, because he was, trying to
Yeah.
get Elon Musk to make him CEO of Twitter. I wonder if Elon Musk is on here.
So it sounds like he is saying what people are thinking. Like, I wonder how long until we're addicted to this.
Like it's already
He's
happened.
being funny. He's like talking about how he would with his friends, like hanging out with his friends, and that's maybe relatable.
I mean, Gary V is all over it already. He's probably
It's
got
exhausting.
in 2 days. So he must have been on this longer than before it was publicly open.
Ugh.
So
Yeah.
which makes sense. He's posted, like video, but he's posted a video on here, but it's like a meme that kind of makes sense for what the caption goes with it. I mean, anyway, we're talking about local businesses. How should
Yeah.
they use it? I think to start, they should use it for text, but you have to be funny. You have to be,
Right.
you have to have a sense of humor with this.
Yes.
If you're going on there and just posting things like, come try our Detroit style pizza,
Boring AF.
or we've got this cheeseburger special tonight,
Yeah, no.
it's not going to work.
Nope.
You've got to get on there and try and find a way to like make things up to make it funny.
Yep.
And
Have you seen how I really love how big brands are in comment sections more on social media now?
Yeah.
Being funny and being approachable.
yeah,
And TikTok videos, I've seen so many professional sports teams, like the NFL will comment when
Yeah.
people redo logos, or like just out of nowhere, you'll have this big name brand commenting on your TikTok video.
Yeah.
Which I think is exciting. So I think if local businesses took that approach to be like kind of dry humor, funny, short text things about their products, I think of Glazed and Confused, and I think of the Dizzy Pig. How much fun could you have posting as like a Dizzy Pig donut and talking about like Dizzy Pig for Prez and
Yeah.
you know, like give your business a personality and maybe give your menu items like personalities or where they're talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't know, like just be funny. Be like, oh, what would catch my attention? You know, like to laugh about a donut, like being like, hey, don't you want to come,
Right.
you know, say hi to me today or
Yeah, something.
don't hire me for that.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's definitely a longer conversation about how social has changed over the years and how that kind of, I mean, the NFL probably has a team of interns that
Right.
are, you know,
Yes.
sitting there.
That's what I mean.
doing the
It's
comments.
intentional.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get into people's comment sections to be approachable and to be like, oh my God, the NFL has a personality.
Definitely be approachable. I don't know. I don't really have that strategy because, like, if a restaurant came to me and came to us today and said, "Hey, we just started a Threads. What should we do?" I would kind of give the same general. I would say go on there, comment on a bunch of stuff, try and find people in the area in Syracuse that you can connect with. Go find your followers and make a connection with them. This is going to be. I remember 2 years or a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had a client who said, I was saying to them in the early days of TikTok, we should be on TikTok. And they said, yeah, but is anybody on TikTok? And my response was, are you on TikTok? And the customer said, yeah, but all I do is I just get on my phone like 2 hours before bed and just get stuck in it.
scroll.
I was like, exactly. That's why you should be on it. So there's probably not going to be a lot of people in a small market like ours in Syracuse that's jumping on it and become like instant threaders and are going off on the platform, but they're definitely on there watching.
Okay.
So, and that's the most important thing. Like, these are the early days of social networks that you should be on there and should be active. You shouldn't wait a year or two until it's like, okay, 30 million people did it. I guess I'll jump on. You should be in there now because there's a lot of eyeballs on there, and there's never going to be more attention on the platform than there is right now. So I don't really know what your content should look like in there, but I know that you should be in there commenting on other stuff and just trying things out to see what works.
Yeah. I guess I would say if a customer was like, what should I do on this right now? I would like everything,
Yeah.
anything.
Go on there and see what happens.
This is the experimental phase.
Right. So we're going to we'll check back in like a week or 2 weeks and a month and let you know, like we'll experiment with it and see what's going on
Yeah.
and see what's working. But I would say get on it right now as long as you have the time for it. Don't get on there and just reshare your stuff that you've been posting everywhere else. Try and be intentional for that platform. And but I think the most important thing right now is get in there and just be seen on other posts.
Ah, I see what you mean.
Like
Yep.
if I was gonna
engage.
Yes. If I was going to get in there right now, I would try to make 1 or 2 funny posts, but I would more importantly get in there. Everyone's going to be looking at the influencers right now. Like right now, it's probably you're going to get more traction by going on there and replying to a Mr. Beast, a Gary Vee, athlete, John Jones, whoever it is that's on there, than you are by like making your own post.
Yep. Somebody will see your comment. Somebody will see
Right.
your profile photo and
Exactly.
click on it. Who's this?
Yeah.
Yep. That's very smart.
Back in the day, I got a few followers, not a lot, but I got some followers from Gary Vee. Used to do his Facebook, Instagram live videos a lot more often, and I would get in there and comment a bunch on those, and I would pick up followers from them.
Yep.
So,
That's a good strategy.
yeah.
I do that on Instagram every now and then on a big page. If I happen to catch a post that that was posted within minutes,
Uh-huh.
I will do that. If I know my comment is going to be
Yeah.
up in the top part of the section for other like influencers and food and Disney,
Yeah.
I do that. I drop a comment so people go, "Who's that with
Yeah.
that cool donut logo?"
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, thanks for listening to the Yummy Socials podcast, everybody. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Nicole.
That's Nicole. And yeah, we are Nicole dropped her coaster. The coaster dropped her coaster.
I want to have coasters made that say, "I am a coaster."
So if you don't know, you can visit us online at yummysocials.com. We are content creators, social media influencers, and social media managers for other businesses. So hit us up online, reach out. You can also follow us on Instagram over at yummy.socials. Nicole, Nicole, say bye.
Bye.